Hey club members, this is a quick demonstration of how we did this technique. This technique is an alcohol blend sort of technique, and of course I think I'm prepared, but I'm not. I'm more prepared than I realized. Okay, so number one thing you're going to do is you need some alcohol-based markers. So these are the finished products, or the finished cards, and I decided not to stamp all those for you because you might want to stamp something else. The important stuff is that this is vellum, and you're going to want to stamp with Stays-On ink. Now, if you don't have Stays-On ink, then bring these finished projects and stamp at my house next time you come, because that will help. You can't use other ones unless you want to emboss it. Of course, you could use other ink and then emboss. So how you do this technique, it's pretty foolproof and not too complicated. So I just ordered a whole bunch of new blends because you'll see why after this technique. I'm going to pull out, when you order the blends, now these are not blender pens, these are blends. They are alcohol based. They're like Copic markers if you have those. And they come in dark and light. And you can't order just one or the other because as you can look at this one's completely like ruined basically. So I'm going to chuck that guy, and I'm not sure his light counterpart is, but I'll open this up, and they're strong grips, so you can see the difference. Wow, that makes a huge difference. And you're going to color. Now, how that tip got so smushed, I'm going to say, is that people are pushing too hard. You don't need to push so hard. Gentle. It's a gentle touch, just like our stamps. Gentle. Our ink pads. So I'm not making, I'm not really coloring anything particularly in order. I am just going to color some random colors. And the reason I'm doing that is because you'll see it makes random things. All right, so this bronze has seen better days. You can see how it's just, people have been kind of rough, and I understand. You don't understand. It's all good. That's why we have replacements. It's called cost of doing business. I'm going to add some dark mossy meadow. And there's two tips. So that's in the coloring really fine line ones. And then there's that one. And I'm making a fall kind of color. I want to use some yellow. So I'm going to use this Daffodil Delight, who's kind of dark Daffodil Delight. It's kind of looking like it's lost its a little bit of firmness. You can overlap. And you always can come back. Okay. But this is where the magic happens. I'm going to pause. Okay, that was quick, wasn't it? So what I'm going to use is 91% isopropyl alcohol. You need the 90% one, not the 70%. I'm going to move my vellum out of the way for a minute. And I'm just going to pour some of this into a container. You don't need much. Now, you can put this in a spritzer container that we have, like this one. But I don't like that look as much. It makes it really kind of out of control, and I like to have a little bit of control. So what I'm going to do is bring my vellum back in here, and hopefully you can see this. I'm going to just splash on the rubbing alcohol. And what that does is it takes the rubbing alcohol, takes the blends, because that's alcohol based, and smears it around a little bit. You can add blops where you want. You can flick it like that. You don't want it too wet, you don't want it too dry. And the people that did this did learn eventually kind of how to figure that out. And you just let it kind of move around, and then after it dries, I'm going to show you what else we'll do. But look at, that's kind of how this all just works. And what's really cool is when you look at it, it looks like it's still wet, where they've come together and kind of made those lines, but it's not. So you'll have in your packet these already done for you, but I wanted you to see how to do that. Now, the other trick, we're going to pause while this dries. Okay, so it's dry. I must have hit the wrong button. because it's not a continuous video, but I can fix that later today. All right, so what we're going to do is then all that this is dry, I'm going to go ahead and glue this on here. Now, vellum glue, some of you have vellum glue, which you really swear by. Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell that, but what they do sell is these sticky strips that I'm going to show you. Now, this was probably the hardest part for people to grasp. And why? I'm not sure. But I'm going to go ahead and grab a scissors and trim this. I'll kind of trim this because I don't want it to be bigger. Let's pause. Okay, so now this is pretty much the size of this thing that I'm trying to do, and I have some extra strips, so it'll be fine. What I'm going to do is that the sticky strips come, and it has 3 different panels. I don't know if you can see that. So 3 different panels, and what I suggest always is take one panel off, just one, and this is where the tricky part is. So if I'm pulling this off, and this is my sticky part, you want to establish which part is your sticky and which part is not. So this is not the sticky part, this is. So I want to put that down on the back side of the vellum and then just pull it like that. Otherwise your hands get so sticky and it's kind of frustrating. So again, not sticky, sticky. Put it down and pull it. And once you kind of figure this out, oh my gosh, it's so much easier. And pull it. Okay, so then, now we have this just on, so now it's double-sided, the sticky strips. So now, if I go ahead and cut the leaf out for this guy, all you have to do is peel off the back side and you'll be able to stick it down on the circle. Now you're going to want to give it a good push when you put it down, if I haven't done that already for you in your packet. All right, so now the next part is putting it on your white cardstock. It kind of looks like it's on your white cardstock, but it's not. So what we're going to do is the same thing, and in theory we're going to pull off one panel, and now it's the stickies on the vellum. And I'm going to line that up. And then I'm going to start this one. It's way easier if you don't have a brace on your hand. And then I'm going to start this one. So I probably, when you get your packet, will have already done all of this for you, and you'll just have to assemble. But if you want to learn, and next time you come over, we can talk about it, but it's pretty simple, and it makes a really wow card, and it's simple. Thanks.